the last day or so. I had the opportunity to meet with the deceased father, family members, and community leaders, and they were able to view the body-worn camera footage prior to its public release. The BCA is conducting this investigation, and so again, many of the details or questions that those may have will be directed towards the BCA. Here's what I can add in terms of what transpired last night. Our officers, again, from our community response team, were conducting an investigation based on a weapons investigation. And that resulted in a traffic stop at the 36th and Cedar Avenue Holiday gas station. A lot of us know that our communities have been dealing with so much this year with the pandemic, increase in violence, certainly many in our communities facing very hard times financially. And so I know that when situations occur, it can certainly add to trauma for those who are experiencing trauma already. But I also want to say that we need to keep peace in our city. We need to keep safety in our city. And so while we recognize that there were groups that gathered last night in the area of 36th and Cedar, and we know that there are those that may plan to convene this evening, again, I have to stress that we need to make sure that we keep the peace in our city. Everyone needs to have that right, that First Amendment right to peacefully assemble, gather, and demonstrate and protest. But again, I urge all of those who should do that we cannot have any sort of destruction or cause any sort of criminal activity in our city. I'm very fortunate that we continue to have the strong relationship with our mutual aid partners, and they were in assistance with us last night. They will be with us throughout tonight and the weekend, and so many folks in our city will see a different uniform throughout our city, and that, again, is for peacekeeping. And so I'm, again, very appreciative of our mutual aid partners, and with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mayor Frey.
Thank you, City Attorney Rauter and Chief Arredondo. As we close out this last day of 2020, a tragic and difficult day is capping what has been a tragic and difficult year. And as more details come to light regarding what happened over at 36th and Cedar, what is clear is that we need to acknowledge that our city is experiencing a lot of raw emotion right now. And I know that's especially true for our Somali community who has lost a young man. Gun violence has gripped our city, and today is no exception. But the circumstances and the details of what transpired last night does not negate the tragedy of yesterday's death. A father and a mother are grieving. An entire community is grieving. And I'm of no false impression right now that my words will provide any sense of relief to our communities that have experienced so much pain, to the victims and families of over 500 individuals that have experienced gun violence. I feel for them. I want to speak directly to them and say that I recognize your pain. I recognize your frustration. It is real and it is valid. But amid this pain, we cannot lose sight of our shared values in this city, our shared commitment to transparency, to accountability, and to justice. Truth and justice should not be partisan nor ideological issues. They are what we should all be striving toward and instilled in everything that we do. And so I'm hopeful that our commitment to that form of rapid transparency, and especially the commitments to get this body camera footage out within 24 hours fills at least part of that ideal and will elevate this truth and honesty amid what is undoubtedly a tragedy. So there's no quick fix, but honesty and accountability are what will lead us forward. Thank you, and I'll open it to questions.
So, Chief Arredondo, you mentioned that there's a weapons investigation that does the traffic stop. Can you tell us, did this man have a warrant for his arrest? Or what is a weapons investigation?
To my understanding, and the question being this investigation, being a weapons investigation, is that it was a probable cause weapons investigation. I don't have any more details in terms of what led up to this investigation, the depths, how far our officers were involved in this, but it was a probable cause weapons investigation. So
that means there wasn't an actual warrant, right? It means they suspected him, and that's why they're going after him.
And as I stand here today, I don't know if there was a warrant involved with this initial incident, and so the BCA, that would be something that they would actually discover in their investigation.
He was described as a felony suspect last night. What was the felony for? Can you describe the details of that felony?
Yeah, the information that I have is that it was a weapons investigation, probable cause weapons investigation, so I unfortunately don't have much more details as to that.
And did you all go to the family's home, or was the incident at the gas station first? Which preceded the other?
I'm not sure.
I'm hearing that the officers went to the family's home in Eden Prairie, and I'm wondering if that did in fact happen, and if so, was that before or after the incident at the gas station?
So I'm not aware of my department members going to the decedent's home, just the incident that occurred at 36th and Cedar.
Chief, are officers trained when conducting a stop like this to fire into a vehicle? From the video, it's hard to tell if there was other people inside. Are officers, what are they supposed to do in those situations?
Each situation is going to obviously be very different. Different level degrees in terms of the information that the officers are seeing in a split second and have to react. Clearly, at least from my view of the video and the preliminary information that also mentioned that a witness saw the individual fire first at the officers, my officers were reacting to that deadly threat. And so, again, that's the investigation will uncover more details, but if the question is, should the officers not react in a deadly force situation, and knowing that community members' lives were at stake as well, the officers are trained to protect community members' lives and their own.
So you say they were justified in taking that action by firing at the...
Justification can kind of go in terms of a legal definition, and obviously there will be a review of this here by the BCA and others. I would expect, again, when officers are experiencing gunfire, that they're trained to respond.
Chief, was a gun recovered in the vehicle?
My understanding is a weapon was recovered.
Chief, were you able to tell us how many shots he fired?
No, I'm not able to determine that. The BCA would make that determination through their investigation.
And how many officers fired?
The BCA would actually make that investigation determination.
And Chief, you released the one video. It's not too long. I know there are already questions about people, asking why not release, more angles. Obviously, there were a lot of officers from what we can see. Was that a consideration, and will we see more of these videos released?
Yeah, the question as to the thinking behind the video that has been released today. Part of it's, quite frankly, it's logistics. There's numerous. There's going to be other videos. The BCA is going to be collecting if there's other public-facing camera videos, and with the commitment that I made yesterday about releasing that video within 24 hours, that was what was available at the time. So, but I would assume that through the BCA's investigation, there will be additional video and other evidence that will be part of the case.
Is that going to be the case going forward? God forbid there are other tragedies like this that we can expect body camera video to be released within 24 hours? No,
I think quite frankly it's going to be a case by case basis. One thing that is for sure is that public transparency is going to weigh into that, so there's a lot of factors. But I felt it was certainly necessary to release this incidents video today.
Chief, I just wanted to be clear that he had not been charged with a crime. There was no warrant out for his arrest. This was the suspicion in the weapons investigation. I just want to make sure that I have that.
That information in terms of the individual being charged with a crime, I don't have that information. The BCA would have that.
Chief, when you look at the body camera video, what do you see? Do you see him shooting first out the window?
When I've
through his window?
Yes, when I've viewed the video that everyone else is viewing, and certainly the real time, the slowed down version, It appears that the individual inside the vehicle fires his weapon at the officers first. Yes.
It looks like something is spraying out. Is that what you assume is glass?
That's something that the BCA forensics folks will make that determination.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did anyone not get the videotape or the link? Dude, has everyone been able to get the link?
Yes.
Okay. It was sent out to so many people and so many agencies that I was concerned that it may have bogged down. So if any of you have any issues or challenges with that, please, by all means, let me know. I'll be around for the night. Thank you, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Same to all of you.
Scott, is this you? This one? Yeah. This one? Good. Good.